How you doing, YouTube's Will from Will Development. This is my 433rd weekly update. I'm just doing a little quick one from the phone here this time because honestly I haven't totally fixed slash recovered what happened last week, which I did put in the caption of the video. Basically, I inadvertently deleted everything related to Will Development, which included a lot of the videos that I'd done. Luckily, I'm not super active on this channel anymore in terms of uploading stone stuff. A lot of that footage, basically all of that sort of material, ends up on Instagram now, which if you're not following me over there, that's the best place to kind of get stone tips and ideas and that sort of thing. It's going to be over on Instagram at Will Development. But yeah, I deleted labels and logos and all this other stuff I had. Luckily, the person I do my logo work, he still had backups of a lot of that stuff. That was kind of the important stuff that I did lose. But, it's one of those things where when you delete something like that, you don't even know what you lost. So I won't know I needed something till I don't have it, which is ironic. But it is what it is. Yeah, that was a rough way to start the weekend. In terms of my ankle, it's getting a lot better. It feels so much better. I've been resting it as much as I can, putting it up, putting heat on it, compression, all this stuff to try to get it to just move the blood around, whether draining the bruise or just getting fresh blood in there, doing the best I can to make that happen. Unfortunately, with my job and the work that I do, I'm on my feet a lot, so it's hard to get that kind of rest. But I've managed to get quite a bit of it this week, and my intention is tomorrow to basically just sit around all day and do nothing, and try to just rest that ankle as much as possible, because I would really like to get back to squatting on Monday. Surprisingly, this week had a rough Monday, just couldn't really do much of anything. I think I ended up just doing leg extensions because it was the only thing I could do that didn't just destroy my ankle. And then Tuesday's press day was just awful. I mean, I was supposed to have a top set of 6 with a moderate weight, and I couldn't even do 3. And it was just a rough day. But I definitely felt it when I was going for the dip on the ankle. Which I was taping it up to try to just mitigate some of the pain and give it a little more support. It helped a little, but not a lot. It wasn't really until Wednesday when I really got to rest it, and then even Thursday during the day that I got to rest it. Kind of a mediocre deadlift day on Thursday, but I feel it. I feel sore in the right places. So good work was done, I think. And then today, honestly, axle work went great, which is, I'm not complaining because you look, out of the rack is out of the rack, and it does help in a sense, in one way to sort of think of it just like overloading essentially. But the bottom line is if you can't clean it, you can't press it, most of the time in a show anyway. So it feels really good that the cleans and the presses have been going very well. Yeah, I hit 185 today for a double clean and press, which is definitely a PR. And it honestly didn't feel that bad. The second clean was a little harder. But once I got it up into the rack position, did my dip, it was a really misgrooved lift. But I was able to kind of push myself under it more and lock it out. I got the second rep, and it didn't feel that crazy challenging. So that felt really good today. So, silver linings, all that stuff. Yeah. Looks like there's a lot more stonework in the future, which is good. And I'm also working on some other things, some potentially new businesses to start, which is also very exciting. Ways to give back to the sport is what I'm looking at, in a way that benefits athletes mostly. But promoters could use it as a selling point as well, and just trying to solve problems. That's the best thing I can do to give back. And then, obviously I have to live. So, my service and time isn't going to be free, but in my opinion, it's going to be worth every penny, much like my wet tacky, much like my stones. I've spent a long time working on these crafts, and I'm going to put that same amount of passion into these new projects One of them that I can talk about is I'm going to start offering essentially a tacky removal and application service where basically I'll come in and I will create two distinct areas for tacky application. It'll have tables, probably like what do you call it, like wet wipes to clean yourself up before you apply your tacky, however you want to do that. Floor coverings, all that stuff. And then I will have a removal area, which has disposable trash cans, those pop-up ones you see sometimes at like parties or like Party City. You can get them a lot of times. Obviously, the best remover on the market, which is Lucky Number 7, available at willdevelopment.net. And a table, and terry towels that are disposable, tear-off terry towels. Saw those at a comp the other weekend, and I was like, amazing. Yes, I need to get these and start implementing them. So that should be a pretty cool thing to offer to shows, and all that. And then the second thing, I'm not going to talk about it just yet because I am still working on a lot of kinks with it. There's a slight bit of a learning curve with it, and I'm working through that. So, when that's ready, I'll actually announce it. I already do have a local adjacent show lined up that I'm going to be debuting it at, and we'll see how it goes. I'm still working out kinks right now, but luckily I've got a couple months to figure out what all the issues are and get a show ready. And once I get that, it should benefit and change Strongman for the better. So looking forward to that. So yeah, end of last week was a really rough start. The end of this week is a much, much better start to a weekend. So yeah, ups and downs as always. And looking forward to next week being even better, trying to focus on the positive as much as I can, and heal up this ankle. Yeah. Heal up those injuries, folks. And if you don't, then what's your excuse?